Hey, Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the transit of Saturn stationing retrograde, which will take place from July 13th through November 28th. And this will be a very powerful transit here because Saturn is going to be looking back towards its previous sign of Aquarius, where it feels the most at home there in its office sign. So while it is remaining in the sign of Pisces, there is also an influence back on the area that is ruled by Aquarius for all of us in our chart. This retrograde will also occur in the earlier degrees of Pisces. So it's going to start out at 7 degrees and move all the way back to 0 degrees of Pisces, almost moving back into the previous sign before it stations direct. So definitely if you have any planets in those earlier degrees of Pisces, you're going to feel the effects of this very strongly in that particular area of your life. So when a planet stations retrograde, it always is going to double in its effect. It gives a more powerful outcome through the retrograde. So Saturn is extremely powerful at this time. And definitely because it is in the sign of Pisces, it's going to challenge us to review some of the unfinished business in our lives, unfinished karma. Remember that Pisces is the last sign where we're wrapping everything up here in the zodiac. So definitely this is about looking at the areas where we have procrastinated, where we have not completed tasks, where we have not resolved issues in our lives, and facing those areas at this time. This can take you into some deep introspection and really take you through a journey of growth and overcoming fears and obstacles in your life. So let's talk about the effects of this retrograde for each zodiac sign. And for the interpretation, very important to see your moon sign along with your ascendant for this placement. You can also see this from your D9 Navamsa chart, from your Dasha, from your Ruda Lagna, for those of you who are watching this, but definitely you want to see the moon sign and the ascendant in your D1 rashi chart. This becomes extremely important. So starting off with the sign of Aries, Saturn is in your 12th house. And again, it's going to look back towards your 11th house in this retrograde mode. So definitely this is a time where some of you may feel like you are at a crossroads, where you are contemplating about your next move, still trying to assess the options of where you want to go next. And so it's all about taking your vision and taking the time to plan and shape your future how you would like it. So definitely it is about taking those thoughts, those ideas that you have, and coming to a solid decision about where you want to go next. Very important for those of you who have Aries moon or Aries ascendant. And of course, from the moon's position, this is also a Sadi, so very powerful position here of Saturn, where it's definitely calling for you to take responsibility and to make those decisions about where you want to take your life. For those of you with a Taurus moon or Taurus ascendant, Saturn is in your 11th house, and it's going to be looking back towards the 10th house as well. So this can definitely make you feel like you're a little bit stagnant at this time. You're not getting the results that you would like. There can be some delays or setbacks that you have faced in the past with this position. And for those of you who are facing these obstacles, this is definitely a time to reevaluate your approach to your task and responsibilities, considering whether it is really worth it to invest your money, your energy, your time into your particular goals. So really taking the time to take a step back and see, is this the right direction to move into? For some of you, it's also about asserting yourself. You may need to stand your ground in some situation in your life as well in order to move forward at this time. So you can find yourself in these challenging situations where people or obstacles are pushing back against you. And it's really about standing up for what you believe in, standing up for what you are focused on at this time, not allowing a lack of motivation or fear to stop you in your tracks. But again, taking that time to assess the situation and see if it is really worth you pursuing and moving forward towards. For those of you with Gemini moon or Gemini ascendant, Saturn is in the 10th house of your chart and is looking back towards the ninth house as well. So, this is definitely a time where some of you can feel that you're not moving forward or don't have the clarity that you would like. There can be some distractions in your life, some things that are pulling on you externally at this time. So it's about finding that balance within at this time, understanding your motivation, your purpose, while also focusing on those material outcomes that you're moving towards. And definitely, it's about understanding that there is hope, that there is opportunity for change and growth as well with this placement. So, not getting stuck in a rut and clinging to the past, but really taking the time to find that sense of joy, creativity, and self confidence within yourself. For those of you with a Cancer moon or Cancer ascendant, Saturn is in your ninth house and it's looking back towards your eighth house. So, this is definitely a time of really pausing for a second and really reflecting on your actions, on your situation in general. And for some of you, it's about letting go of the past, letting go of the things that no longer serve you, that are stopping you in your tracks. You may need to sacrifice or let go of something that you were trying to cling to at this time. So it's definitely about changing your perspective and taking the time to have patience and diligence to move towards your goals. For those of you with a Leo moon or Leo ascendant, Saturn is placed in your eighth house and is looking back towards the seventh house. This time is about balance. It's about taking on multiple tasks and responsibilities in your life. Some of you may feel as though you are juggling multiple priorities in your life. And it's about remaining flexible and using the resources you have during this time to manage the ups and downs of this situation, being able to take on all of these responsibilities and not lose your sense of balance or purpose. For those of you with a Virgo moon or Virgo ascendant, Saturn is placed in your seventh house and looking back towards your sixth house. And this is definitely a time of overcoming obstacles and challenges in your life. You have incredible willpower and determination, not only with Saturn looking back at this sixth house by retrograde, but also this powerful Rahu that is transiting through your sixth house as well, giving you tremendous strength to overcome obstacles in your life. So, this is definitely a time of forward progress, of achieving success and mastery in your own life at this time becomes extremely important. For those of you with a Libra moon or Libra ascendant, Saturn is placed in your sixth house and looking back towards the fifth house. So, this is a time where you may be a little off center with yourself. It's about really finding that sense of happiness, of joy, of enthusiasm within yourself. And it's about doing it in a balanced way, not becoming overly optimistic or overly pessimistic in your approach. Really, just finding that inner child, that joy within yourself becomes extremely important. This may also be a time where you are low on energy, where there are some mental or physical health concerns to tend to. So it's also about being cautious and taking the time to care for yourself, to do the things again that make you happy, that bring you a sense of joy in your life. For those of you with a Scorpio moon or Scorpio ascendant, Saturn is placed in your fifth house and is looking back towards your fourth house. This can be a time where you are resisting change or feeling stuck. There can be a tendency to cling to the past. So it's about letting go. It's about embracing the change that is coming into your life. For those of you with a Sagittarius moon or Sagittarius ascendant, Saturn is placed in your fourth house and is also looking back towards the third house of the chart. So this could be a time where some of you are feeling like there are delays, that you're being slowed down at this time. You could be moving too quickly, rushing into things impulsively at this time. which can lead to some setbacks and frustration. So there's a need to slow down in your approach a little bit and to reevaluate the situation. For some of you, it's also about changing course, moving in a different direction, taking a different approach so that you are avoiding some of these challenging outcomes that don't serve you. For those of you with a Capricorn moon or Capricorn ascendant, Saturn is placed in your third house and is also looking back at the second house. So, this is definitely a time that is about togetherness, that is about friendship, cooperation. So, for some of you, it's about teaming up with people, gaining support to work towards your goals can become very important. You may have some old friends, old people returning back into your life, or finding yourself meeting new people who can help to support you, strengthening the bonds and connections in your life. This becomes the key to your success. For those of you with an Aquarius moon or Aquarius ascendant, Saturn is placed in your second house and is looking back towards the fourth house. This is definitely a sadi moment for those of you with an Aquarius moon. So this is a very prominent Saturn placement for many of you. And of course, Saturn is also your ruler. It is your first house lord, very powerful placement of Saturn here, which is definitely putting a huge focus on your sense of security, of abundance, of material success coming into your life, your sense of comfort and ease. This becomes very important at this time. So, this can be a time of abundance, of success, of having that sense of comfort and fulfillment in your life. And for some of you, definitely building a sense of security for your loved ones as well. This can make you somewhat of a leader, someone who is able to make others feel secure as well. There may be some challenges, though, in terms of dealing with authority or restrictions in your life, though, and definitely there's a need to make sure that the way that you approach leadership and responsibility is healthy and balanced with this placement. For those of you with a Pisces moon or Pisces ascendant, Saturn is in your first house. From the moon sign, this is definitely the middle of Sadi. Very heavy Saturn energy coming in for those of you with this position. So this can be a time where you are working hard, where you're being forced to really put in a lot of discipline and effort into your life, and definitely can show an ability to create a strong foundation, to leave behind a strong legacy with all of this effort that's being put in. So this can lead to long-term success if you continue to be diligent, if you continue to put the effort in at this time. This may also be a heaviness coming into your life as well. Some of you dealing with some loss, regret, heartbreak, difficulties from the past with this position. But ultimately, this brings a sense of healing and resilience with time. It's definitely about letting go of the past and changing your overall perspective. It's really about surrendering the things that no longer serve you and taking the time to really contemplate and plan things out carefully with this placement and to really again put forth that effort that's going to give you that strong sense of foundation and long-term success in the end. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like along with a comment. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.